Ask. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. All those that are invisible are filled with Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are reading Shetashwatara Upanishad, and the first question started here, as all the Upanishads question, that everything, looking at this universe, questioning comes, what is the cause of this universe? We see this universe, stars, galaxies, human being, this creation, this sustenance, this destruction, everything is going on. Where King Karanam, what is the cause of this creation? Where did it come from? How we are surviving? On which we are established? What is the foundation? And being established in this world, we are searching for peace, joy, or some satisfaction. So, is it time that, as people say, in time it has come? Why this universe has come? Yeah, it is in its own time it has come. Is it time? Or it is, oh, some say, oh, it is the intrinsic nature of this universe that the world has come because of its intrinsic nature to unmanifest, to manifest, and then go on what you call Darwin's theory of evolution, this, that. It's a naturally it is happening somehow. Some say no, it is the law. There is some law in the nature. Look at that, how everything happening in time. In time it comes, in time it goes. So there is a law behind. Or some say by chance it has happened. And some theory, this earth has come out of it by chance. A star, big star, rotating, came in close proximity to our earth, our star. And it was broken to pieces and it became this. This creation is because of that. Or some say it is intelligence. There is a cosmic intelligence out of which it has come. Some may say it is energy. It's nothing, it is all energy, potential, kinetic, this, that, and that. So there are so many, or some may say it is the combination of all these ideas to put together. That may be the cause of this universe. So the time, nature, law, chance, matter, energy, intelligence, uh, are they the cause? Some say yes, some say no, some say no, a combination of these. So, and that gives the birth, identity, existence of ourselves. We are born, we grow, we die. Ah. The self also is not free agent, being under the sway of happiness and misery. So, these are the questions and these are the confusions. But failing to answer the question where from this universe has come, where did it come from, how did it happen, how we are surviving, what is our ground of sustenance, what is the force behind us, making us walk, talk, see things, experience. See, they could not find it. So te dhyana yoga anupassat. Then the sages sat in deep contemplation within. And then they said that practicing the method of meditation, these sages realized that being is God of all religion, what we call the God, or what is the great personality or the self of the philosophy, the energy of the science, who exists as the self luminous power in everyone. So the meditation, the sages by meditation understood that that is called the being, the great reality, which is being in everyone, in the background of everyone, which is the source of all intellect, all our emotions, all our will, which one without a second, that is the reality from which it has come, who is presided over all the causes enumerated above, beginning with time, ending with individual soul, and who had been incomprehensible because of the limitation of this own intellect. So it is this we have read, but I just repeating those three verses. So what ultimately it says that it is the cause is that being, we cannot say what is that, which is called God in the religions, different religions talk about God. Say God is the cause of all creation. And what is the God? Which is called the self of the philosophers. Philosophers say it is the capital self. This is the small self. There is a capital self behind it. And self is the cause of this creation. And the self-luminous it is self-luminous. It is you don't need another light to put that to see anything visible. We need some light, but the self is self-luminous. It does not need any other light, additional self-powerful, who is the source of all our intellect, all our understanding. The source is the behind that our understanding. That conscious self is there. Our will, our emotions, everything is perceived by that background of that consciousness. And that is that reality self, the big self, big S, is one without a second. And that means it is Brahman. So, and this presides over all the causes enumerated above. This because of that consciousness, we are try to understand the creation and how it came from time, etc., etc. These thoughts are working because of the conscious entity behind. And it is incomprehensible because of the limitation of their intellect. Intellect cannot perceive it, but it is the background of intellect. Our intellect is functioning because of that consciousness, which is the self. Now, these are the questions, and that is the expression the holy people by their meditation found that that consciousness is the background which is doing all these things. And then they have given the verse number 4, where we have read that it is like a wheel. It's called the Brahma Chakra. That day I gave some papers. Did anyone have or saw it? Ever checked it? Yeah. So there, this is the rim. It is the Maya, and it has three gunas: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And there is spokes connecting with the rim, with the hub. So, like that, they have described that this is the universe is like that. It is run by infatuation, attachment, greed, and five sense organs help them to connect with this universe. Five sense objects are there, which we are connecting through the senses. We connect with the sense objects. like that. So all these ideas have been given that it is to make it understand the world is a wheel in which we are trapped, and their attachment and aversion, all these alternative things are happening in this Maya. And Maya is that Sattvik, Rajasic, Tamasic, all these have been mentioned in the will, and is a complicated way of expressing how the creation has come. It is not necessary to go too much on that. And another example now today will run. He will be Rishi, the sages will be giving the concept that this world is like a creation, and that creation is like a stream in a river, and they have compared the stream with different analogies. So what it says that verse number 5, it says Pancha Sota Ambu. Pancha Sota Ambu means five currents in a river, which are compared to the five organs of perception. In the stream of this world, there are five currents, five types of currents are flowing in the river. And what are the five types? Our five organs of perception: eyes, ear, nose, mouth, no? And Chakshu, Karna, Nasika, Jiva, talk. Chakshu, eyes, Karna, ears, Nasika, nose, and talk, the skin, and Nasika, Jiva, the tongue. So these are the perception, these are like five streams. That's a very good analogy to remember how the world is connected, the objects are connected, how we get involved into it. So that example, Pancho, Srota, Ambu. Then it says Pancho, Joni, Ugro, Vakram. That means there are which have become powerful or crooked with the help of five elements acting as a cause. Elements, the senses work with the elements, no? Eyes works with the rupa, form, ears with the sound. So elements, five elements are there. What are the five elements? Kriti, Up, Tej, Marut, Bomb. Kriti means earth, water, air, fire, and space. So they work with this currents flowing, and it's connected with five elements. So which become powerful. It may be powerful, it may be crooked. These sense objects can take us down the hill, or it can take us up the hill. So this is the powerful, or maybe crooked. They become crooked how? With the help of the elements acting as a cause. Pancha pranopam, which waves are the five organs of action. Suppose in the river, there are waves. What are the waves? Five pranas. What are the five pranas? Prana, apana, samana, udana, bana. Don't get nervous with this technical terms and too many details. That's why Vedanta is simple. When you go to Vedantic text and they talk details, then it is not so good. Brahman, Atman, that's very simple formula. But to describe the world as it is pancha, they say pancha prana urmi. Urmi means the dev, the waves. Imagine a river. Five currents are there. They are connected with five sense objects. And then over that there are waves. Waves are what? Five pranas. This is prana, no? Life force, prana. Apana, which we excretion time, you put the pressure of the wind. Prana, apana. Samana is balancing the internal forces and digestive and other system. Samana. Udana, like burping. That's the wind, play of the wind. Udana, Vyana, all the different functions, the same air, disbalance of the air in the Ayurveda, they say, if you disbalance of the flow of air, will create disturbance. Vayu Pradhan, that all this technological term is there. That means this balance should be there. So, but these waves, it may be turbulent wave, it may be very soothing well. So these are the Pancho Prana Urmi. These five pranas are the Urmi, whose waves are the five organs of action. Pancho Buddhyadi Moolam, whose source is the mind, which is also the source of the five forms of sense perception. Five types of sense perception is there. Five senses are there. So five senses are perceived. How? With the mind. You cannot perceive anything. Eyes cannot perceive. You may sit here. Eyes will be there. I will not perceive it if my mind is not connected. So that is these five forms of sense perceptions. Pancha Panchavartam, and there are five eddies in the mind. Mind always like whirlpool. It is like creating one deep thought. You get some thought gets into you, and then you are in the whirlpool of that. You are as if sucked into it. So these are the eddies, five eddies in the mind arising from sound, touch, sight, taste, smell, and these objects. No, you hear a word, it is pleasing, it makes one type of reaction. Unpleasing, it makes a eddy, and you are sucked into it. Did you see that in the river? If you observe the river, stand on the bank, and you can observe all these things. So the sages give some realistic experience of the ocean or the river view, and they explain it so that we can correlate with that.
Are the ton mantras involved in this, or is that a different?
No, they are talking first the gross, then they'll talk about this ton mantras. Ton mantras, of course, will be final level, but in the gross level, this universe, how it is working. So pancha avartam, five eddies in the mind. How they come, how the eddies create in the mind. Mind is depressed, mind is excited, and we are excited, no? But what makes this mind excited or depressed? What? Sound, you hear some word. Sight, you saw something through your eyes. You smell something through your nose. You taste something, good food, bad food. Huh? Then you touch, oh, it is hot, it is cold, it is soft, it is hard. No? That creates these are the all ADs created in the mind. Just you can analyze this, then it is very easy to reconcile how we are being a puppet in the hand of all these things. We are the self, pure self, untouched by anything. We are self luminous, but we are connected in this way, forgetting that identity. And with this turning of the five streams, then crookedness of this journey, it is created there and also continues like that. Pancha Dukkha, what is that? Let me see. Sometimes transliteration is difficult. Panchavartam Pancha Dukkho Begam. What is Dukkho Begam? Pancha Dukkho rapids, whose rapids are the fivefold misery, which creates fivefold misery, five types of misery. What are the five types of misery? It is being the birth, all types of misery. Your birth, your day, growth, disease, Osti jayate, barthate, viparinamate, apakshiyate. These are the five. It is six, but they are putting it five. So five, 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 five. And that created, in the mind, that turbulence created and give birth to your body. And we are suffering, all the suffering and of life's journey. So Panchauga Begam. So Panchauga, whose rapids are the fivefold miseries. And fivefold miseries Our being in the womb, birth, old age, illness, and death. Pancho and Pancho Panchasad Vedam, the 50 and thereabouts modifications. But that will have to Pancho Buddha Pancho Avartam, Pancho Parvam, Pancho Dukkham, Pancho Avartam, Pancho Buddha Adi Moolam, Pancho Pranormim, Pancho Yonihi. So what the 50 Pancha Parvam, the fivefold moods in our mind, moods are created, no? Happy mood, unhappy mood, all different types of moods are created. In the river corresponding to the moods of the mind, ignorance, egoism, attachment, aversion, are too much involvement of anything. These are the fivefold moods. And Adhimaha, let us meditate on the world such a river. So think of that this world is like a river, and compare this with these ideas, then you can understand how the world is created. So the five organs of perception are like five currents of a river. The five elements means air, water, gross elements. They stimulate and make it grow powerful and crooked. Five organs of actions are its waves, and the mind is the source of all sense perception as its source. Sound and other such properties are like eddies, they create the eddies, and the five sorrows are the five rapids. The river has five moods and goes through 50 modifications. Let us remember the mind is the root of all these varying sense perceptions, which we call the world. So ultimately it comes, mind is the cause of this entire world. Mind is the cause of suffering, mind is the cause of joy, and mind is fickle. Monkey, that's why it is a monkey. Monkey jumps from here to there. Sometimes he is sitting, sometimes he is jumping. So this is the state of mind, and mind is creating all suffering and pain, taking them as reality. So now the Upanishads compare this universe to a river. A river is always flowing, moving, always in a state of flux. We often use the word samsara to refer to the life of the world because samsara means that which moves. So it is compared with the river. Why? The life of so moves every day, no? Every second we are moving. Now, we started around 7:30. Now it is 20 minutes, 25 minutes moved. We already moved. So life is moving. So this river also, you see, water is moving continuously. You can compare with that. That's why they are bringing river idea. Samsara means that which moves, that which is always changing. And not only moving, it is changing. So look at our body, look at our mind. How every split second it is changing. Body is changing, mind is changing, understanding is changing, our ego sense is changing. All change, 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 change. But you say the same river, Mississippi. Mississippi is the name of the same river. It is river. But is the water, yesterday's water is today there? Or morning water is now there? No. But it appears this river. So same thing, the body, the world remains almost the same. But it is changing. It is not a permanent thing. It moves. So it is very apt comparison to describe the universe as a river. This river has five currents, Pancho Sotambu. Which are these currents? They are the five organs of perception. Already I have talked about that. The Gyanendriyas. What are the Gyanendriyas? Through which earn Gyan or knowledge. That means eyes, ears, they are the source of our accumulating knowledge. We all accumulate knowledge by someone is telling something, I hear, I accumulate knowledge. I see something, I accumulate knowledge. I touch something, I can feel its heat or it is cold, etc. So all these perceptions, they are called the perceptions of knowledge. So the five Gyanendriyas, which are carried along the currents of the sense organs, which are constantly moving. So the river is flowing, five currents are there, and in the Gyanendriyas, the eyes, senses, etc., five senses in the changing body, they are all functioning to give us the knowledge of the outside. Panchajoni, the five sources of the river are five elements. This whole universe is created by five elements. Vedantic way of thinking that Panchabhuta, five elements. Five elements, air, water, fire, space, and what is that? Air, water, earth. This gross and this subtle form. Subtle form is in your dream time. Dream time, you when you are hungry or you are thirsty, you say you drink water. What water you drink? Not this gross water. Suppose I understand that you are dreaming and you are thirsty in your dream body. So I bring a glass of water and pour your in mouth. What will happen? You will get choked because it is not gross water. You are hungry, thirsty in your subtle body. So subtle water is necessary. Suppose in your dream body you are feeling some breathing trouble. So if I put some oxygen in your nose, in your sleeping body, will it get there? No. So these are the two types of element. One is the gross element, but gross element comes from the subtle element. That's a different issue. But the five elements. Panchajoni, because they are all experiences are rooted in these elements. If the elements are not there, you cannot experience anything. Air, water, fire, etc. If they are not there, fundamental. Permutation and see, this body is what? It is a combination of the air, water, fire, space, and earth. Earth means you are taking every day rice, dal. Where did it go? It is rice. It is earth. Earth element transformed into another form. No? Yeah, you are breathing every day without breath. Can anyone survive 1 second without this breath? No. So earth element, water element, water. Our body is how much water? How much? How much water? 75 or 85. Yeah. They say this the major part of our body is water. So we drink water also. So without that, this body cannot become considered as existent. So the whole universe is also like that. The trees, plants, everywhere, they are growing on the five elements. Through the five elements, they grow. So without them, we could not have any experience. They are described as ugra, powerful, frightful, vakra, sometimes crooked or complicated. The elements combine with one another and produce an awesome system in which we have all kinds of experiences. Some experiences are good, but most are complicated and frightful. All the five elements created this universe, no? Some are sweet and loving, and major part is frightening and fearful. No? In this five element created the whole universe. So that is creating both the concept of joy or suffering. Pancha prana urmi. Urmi means waves. The waves of this river are the five vital breathing breath. Prana, apana, dhyana, udana, samana. These five vital breaths create waves within us. They disturb our minds by producing different sensations within. They are represented by our five organs called the karma, indriyas, tongue, hands, feet, the organs of generation, and the organs of excretion. So Panchabuddhya, the Moolam. Moolam means the cause. All these senses are functioning. What is the cause? Mind is the cause. If the mind is not there, you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot taste, you cannot touch, you cannot think it is good, you cannot feel any bad. Mind is the cause of all. What is the cause of mind? Buddhi and intelligence. That is the cause. So, mind, it is the root of all cause of the five That is the five sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, etc. The mind is behind these sense organs and they cannot function without it. The mind makes the organs function and work. Pancha, Panchavartam, the five eddies or whirlpools. What are the five whirlpools I talked about? The five whirlpools are the objects of the senses. Huh? How we, in a split second, we get disturbed. Seeing some, oh, there is a fire. No? If someone says there is a fire, we'll all give up our study and run. Something you see through the eyes, Someone say, sound. Hey, come, come, there is something is happening. We run for that. These five elements can cause all disturbance in us. That's why spiritual life is to control these five by the mind, and the mind focused in the Atman. So you have to go back. Now we are discovering what is out. From the Atman, you are going out. And what are the elements functioning and making us work in the world of duality? These are the five avarta, as a objects of the senses like sound, shabda, form, taste, smell, and touch. For instance, you hear a good song and you become happy. Huh? Or maybe you hear something bad and you become disturbed. We are always reacting in different ways to different things. So these are called the avarta or eddies or what we call the whirlpool, life's whirlpool. We go every day to the whirlpools, every now and then. Good, sometimes bad. Most of the time, not good. You listen to a beautiful music and your mind gets settled. And that is good whirlpool. But some most of the time he said this, I heard that, you did that, and all these five senses bringing the information and creating a whirlpool in the mind. And how people get depressed? How the people get depressed? Depression is somewhere entering into me like that, or in the mind. Mind thinks it is bad, and then it gets into the whirlpool of that sinking one's own power, as it were, into the void, and they feel the difference. Pancha dukkham. There are five types of sorrows. First, you are in the mother's womb, that is a sorrow. To live in that way. Then you are born. Second, then comes age, old age, disease, and finally death. That means all the changes of the body that is happening from birth to death. That is the dukkha. Buddha worked on that dukkha, sarvang dukkham. Everything is dukkha, suffering. Everything is suffering. Birth is suffering. Uh, Childhood is not suffering. My God, when the babies cry day and night, is it not the suffering for their life? We think the children are crying. That's their nature. Not nature. They have some bad time. That's why they cannot express even what type of pain is going on. They cannot express, but they're going through suffering. And when they're smiling, then it's a different thing. That's also there. The mixture of good and bad, no? But see, so each one, all the stages of life, when you look from another, and now we are all elderly people, we think, wow, childhood time was so great. They need not have to go for job. They need not have to think of that financial aspect. They did not have to face the challenges of life's hardship. No, childhood. And when we are children, what do we think? See, the elderly people, how free they are. They can go take the car and go out. And if I want to do anything, mommy, I'll have to ask mommy. Mommy, give me. Mommy said no. So it's all. See, it's every stage we are thinking that stage is better than this stage. But this everywhere there is suffering. So this is to create, not to create any negativity, but to understand the reality of life. Vedanta very analytically calculates all these things, creates all these ideas that it is change, 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 dukkha, suffering, all this come because of this combination of all this of mind, intellect, ego, and all these stages of life, five elements, five sense perception, all this create a whirlpool like that and makes the life miserable. So Pancha Parvam is five moods causing bondage. That is, what are the mood? Ignorance is one mood, vanity is another mood, attainment, I have achieved something, attachment to things, that's one of the mood, aversion, and etc. These are all causes of suffering. The source of all our trouble is that we have many desires. Suppose you say, well, I just have this one desire. When this desire is satisfied, I won't need anything else. But what happens is that as soon as you satisfy one desire, another appears, and then another, and then so on. That is how we are caught. But why do we have these desires? Because we do not know our real nature. If we know that we are Brahman, we are that full Purna, then we know that everything is within. We then can be free then. So these two, three verses have described about the world. The question started, what is the cause of this universe? Where do we come from? Why we are here? What is the way out? All these questions. So started this way. One example given, the example of a ream with spokes like a wheel, and this is the example given like a river idea. Be reason being, as you have discussed now, reason being that this river changes all the time, body also changes, mind also changes, everything. The similarity. This is flowing, moving on, body is also moving on, mind is also moving on. So there is a comparative analysis can be done, parallelism is there. And there, in nutshell, what has we have read in the verse number 4 is that the five sense organs and this mind and their buddhi connecting all together with the five prana and the five elements is our constituting our world. And it is like a river, as river have currents, eddies, whirlpools. So the life is always having some whirlpool and eddies and currents and taking right direction, wrong direction, and our life become miserable. So we are suffering. Main thing, this world is created of this, and this is causing us suffering. Therefore, we cannot know. We are not to suffer. We are born not to suffer, but we are born to be free. But instead of being free, we are entangled into bondage. So, how to understand? Then don't go in the flow of mind. Then don't go in the flow of the mind, don't go in the flow of the senses, don't go in the flow of the five elements. Come back. That's why when we chant the morning Shankara's Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham every day we chant, I'm not the mind, not the mind, not Buddhi, etc., etc. There it is saying, I'm not the five elements, I'm not the five forces. Did you not read every day? I'm not the five elements. Uh, sub, uh, Nava, Sapta Dhatu. Uh, I'm not the flesh, bones, marrow, this, that. I'm not this, not this, not this. To disidentify, disidentify. That is the path. When we are getting into this objective universe and forgetting the real nature, all these turbulences will be tormenting us, suffering will be there, pain will be there, and this is a desire for our survival in the life. I want to survive in the world. And what will you get in the world? After a long trouble, we find that we don't get much from the world. Bhogana bhukta bhayaveva bhukta. We wanted to enjoy uh, the objects of the universe, but the objects of the universe actually enjoy us. We cannot enjoy. We want to enjoy. As example, some people fall in the trap of, say, a gross example. Someone falls in the trap of having some drugs. Say. First it is, oh, it is good, it is little good. Okay. A little is okay, little is okay. And little, and then okay goes to little more, and then what happens? People cannot give up. Why? Because that is some intoxication is there. And then we become slave of the drug. We first entered into drug by choice, thinking it will give me joy, and then entering into the drug, then we become a victim of drug, and we become subject to the suffering and pain. Every subject, if we watch in the world, we want to get peace from outside, this is the same result. It makes us slave of the situation, and it is a bondage, and we don't know what is freedom and how that freedom will come. So that is the only way now to turn the vision to inside. Not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Not this. Go to that what is here all the time. So that will be the next study. Now, sixth verse. Sarva jive sarva sangaste brihante asmin hansho bhramyate brahmachakre pithagatmanam preritarang chamatva justas tatastena amritattameti. Amritattameti. One can attain to amritatva, immortality. One can attain to immortality. Justa means tena justa, blessed or favored by that reality, God. Ki hai? One justas tattas tena amritattameti. That one attains to that amritattva. Sarva jive, sarva jive sarva sangaste brihante osmin hangsho. Hangsho means the individual soul, jiva, you and me. Hangsha means, actually Hangsha means swan. Swan floats in the water. Swan example is very beautiful example. Swan lives in the water, but water does not enter into it. So we are really living in the world. Water cannot penetrate, but because of our foolishness, identification, we think that we are subject to the suffering of the world. So Hangsha, the individual soul, Atmanam itself, Preritaram cha, and the controller of the cosmic self, Prithak Matva, uh, myself and the Supreme Self are separate. Thinking this, what? The Hamsa individual self, Osmin, in this body, in this Sarva Ajive, the sustainer of all beings, Sarva Sangaste, the final resting place of all beings, Brihante, round that big Brahmachakra, cosmic wheel, Brahmyate. So, separating thing, the Hamsa, an individual soul like me and you, Atmanam, thinking I am, Preritam cha, and the controller, the cosmic self. I and the who is pushing me into the life. Who is pushing us all in the life? Who created this world? The cosmic self, which is called Brahman, which is called Atman. So that who is the cause of this universe is Brahman, and who am I is the individual soul. So thinking that me, myself, and the controller from whose this direction of my life is coming, Sarva Ajiva, and which sustains all our beings, Brahman, Sarva Sangaste is the final resting place of all of us is Brahman. Brihante, Bhrante, around that big Brahma Chakra, this Brahmate, and we are all running in the wheel of the samsara. Samsara chakra moves, no? In the car, the wheel moves all the time, no? Wheel moves that the car is moving, that the world is moving. How? That Brahma chakra, that chakra, the wheel of Brahman. What is the verse number 3? We gave the picture that Brahma chakra is moving. Brahmate, Tena, by the cosmic self, Justa, means supported by through this mercy. And if supported by that cosmic power, then Tataha Amritattam Eti. That means if you get the grace of the Paramatman, the Supreme Self, then you can attain freedom. So this verse means so long as the individual self, like you and me, thinks he is separate from the cosmic self, the Lord of all. Prerita. Prerita means who pushes us into the life. Cosmic power pushes individual soul. No? Individual soul and cosmic soul. What is the cosmic soul? Sum total of the individual soul. Is it not? What is the ocean? Sum total of the water drops. Water drops are individual soul. When the individual drop feels that I am separate from the ocean, then comes their suffering and pain. When one thinks by that I am a part of that, then fear goes away. And I am that, there is no fear. So it is the grace of the cosmic self, or better to say, it is your grace. When you are gracious to yourself and identify, I am not the Brahm, I am not this senses, not the sense objects, I am not the mind, not the intellect, all these you can say, and focus on your inner essential nature, then you are free and you can attain freedom. When not, then you are in the wheel of Brahma Chakra. Huh? Got it? Got the idea? Hmm? All are silently listening. Say something. Huh? Huh? Question. Sanaki.
So, some people,
Huh?
some people will say that they know that they're Brahman, but then they still get sucked into this Brahma chakra, this wheel of life. They say it verbally, like they know they
Knowing intellectually will not do.
right.
We know what I also know. I am talking about that. Huh? But this will not do. You have to experience and understand and really sink into this thought. It should be maddening thought. Really, I am this made of 5 flesh, bone, etc. 7 elements. This water, air, fire, water. Am I that composite structure? Am I the mind and emotions? That I am the puppet in the hand of the world? Anyone saying a sweet word, I pop up, jump up, and anyone saying a little looks at me like, and I got depressed. Am I a puppet? Or I am something else? I am that conscious entity. If one really day and night thinks, it is not superficial talking. Those who have done, I know of one Swami. He was one day, he was in Himalayas doing austerity. And he was so engrossed into this thought, just thinking, really, really, I am seeing that I am the body and I am this. This world is non existent. It's possible. And the thought took possession of him like a ghost. He forgot his food day and night, one day, 2 days, 3 days. He was totally maddened into that thought. And then the solution came. I'm not this. And in a flash, some experience came. So it is to be cultivated. That's why we have to practice every day. Regularly we do that. In the Vedantic way or Bhakta way, you are meditating. Meditating means what you are doing. Think what you are doing. You are withdrawing from five senses, eyes closed, ear. Someone is putting ear plug, not to hear the sound outside. No, so ear stopping, eyes stopping, nose, then fragrance, or you are not eating that time. Tongue is stopped. So you are withdrawing, withdrawing, withdrawing. Huh? And then what you do? Focusing on your mind rambling here, there, round, round. Hey, come back, come back, come back. And then keeping a good divine picture of your Ishta Devata and focus. Or you are thinking of cosmic ocean of light and whatever. So withdrawing from there and putting it there. And really one day, if you can just sink there, you see, where is the world? Think that what you are doing practice, suppose if your mind really gets absorbed, where is the world for you that time? You come back and see the world, that's a different thing. But at that point, if we can absorb ourselves into that reality, the world vanishes. And that is the freedom. And once one get that freedom, then no fear. He will be roaming in the world with all power and majesty. So long as the individual self thinks he is separate from the cosmic self, the Lord of all, he continues to travel around the cosmic wheel, passing through the manners of vicissitudes at the mercy of the Lord. He finally gets his liberation if the Lord so pleases. That is when he feels one cosmic self. We have to feel that I am this body, body, body. I am the Atman, I am the pure self. One who can identify that way, one cosmic self, then he will get liberation. Somehow or other, he has to become one with the cosmic self. This will happen as if the Lord is attractive. So it happens by God's grace, you can say, and your own effort. This is the explanation of how the individual soul gets bound and how it finally gets liberated. No, this is the way it gets bound, and this is the way to come back. We entered into this, come out of that. That's all. Very simple. Of course, time is gone, so I will not go into this. I'll read it again next day as I do this very important verse. This is the verse number 6. But we have understood a little bit that everything is the five senses and other things, and this individual soul of us is pure self, but not identifying with the infinite self, identifying with the five senses, five elements, no, five air, and all this external thing. We become in the whirlpool of samsara. We are suffering happiness, misery coming, but withdrawing from that to turn inside, that will give us the freedom. Sarvajive. Upanishads are really fantastic. How they are kind. They are great people. They could have experienced themselves and kept within themselves, but they have given this treasure to the whole humanity. The treasure for the humanity. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow will be Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by our Prabhrajika Seva Prana Mataji. She will give that class tomorrow. Okay? So I have some questions. So we'll go to that. Whirlpool of the senses that inspire higher feelings in us, like joy, but they are whirlpools nonetheless. How to avoid attachment to whirlpools that inspire positive sensation? Yes, that's a great question. First, we have to get out of the whirlpool of the negative impressions and negativity, which makes us depressed, which makes us down. And there is a risk when you get into the higher life, that is also another obstacle is there. Patanjali says it is an obstacle to samadhi. You are doing meditation and you are very happy and stay on. And get out of that, move forward. If you do not move forward, you get stagnant there. But that's a very high level. We need not have to think now. Let us have good meditation, a good absorption. Yeah? feel blessed that when you sit for meditation, wow, that's a good feeling about that. And then come out and see the world full of joy. And then you will get out of the joy. When you say it is joy, that means three things are there. You are there, joy object is there, and experience is there. No? That's also in a lower level. You become one with that. You merge your ego. That means more sadhana is necessary. So Ramakrishna says, move forward. Don't get stuck. Little ray of light you saw, some light you saw today. Wow, wow. That's good, but not very much. Go forget that. Go forward. We feel now, some people say, I had a good experience. I saw a light, this light, that light. Okay, this light, that light, they're good. It is little milepost. When you drive, earlier days, not through the GPS of nowadays, oh, this is a McDonald. And you cross that. After McDonald, they take a right side, there is a school building. And oh, then you see the school building. Oh, you are in the right track. And school building. Then take a left, and then there will be some house like that, three-storied building there. So, no? So, but you don't get stuck to the McDonald. Neither you get stuck to the right side school building. So similarly, make the journey move on and on and on, and then one day that will happen when we can go beyond our joy also. Because you are joy. When you are saying that you are enjoying some bliss, that means you are separate. Just drop into that. It is like coming, standing here and seeing the joy on that side. And that's good. But you have to go beyond that also. That is the question. How do your spiritual practice the same way you are doing that will lead us to the same goal? Another, it is impossible to find God outside ourselves. Should we only meditate on God within? And while doing Shiva, Jnana, Jiva Seva, then project God within on others we are serving? The fundamental point is that God is not within, not outside. God is within and outside. If you go to the ocean and dip a jar or then pitcher, what is there inside and outside? Inside also ocean, outside also the ocean. And the thickness of the jar, which is earth, water penetrates into that. That's also ocean. So there is no in and out. So God is everywhere. But first our practice should be more withdrawing our mind into God consciousness, and then with eyes open, project it inside, outside. It is all our imagination. In our present state of mind, when you close your eyes, think of God, it is an imagination. But that imagination will be realization if we continue to do that with pure soul, pure mind, trying to practice every day. And as much as we see inside, that much I will see outside. It is the mind, eyeglass. When the mind becomes little pure, the eyeglass is pure, you see the clear clarity. More clear, more clear, more clear. And when there will be no distinction between in and out. So we should have to practice in God outside ourselves. We can check, we should see that God outside also with eyes open. How will you see? We have to see what is within. The person, if you look at the person is wrong. Person is Satchidananda plus name and form. Your name is one, your form is one. Separate. For my name, my form. Everyone's name and form are different. But you are also, at your background of all of us, is one consciousness. So that hold on to the consciousness, that is our point, not to the form, name and form. So when you try to see God outside, means don't try to see God will be all equal. Everyone is holy, everyone is kind, everyone will be soft and sweet. No. Outside will be tough, difficult, good, bad. But the power behind each of us is the same spiritual essence. So we have to think that way, with eyes open and with eyes closed, thinking that he is here and I am here. Another question, that the five wheeled fruits are not just five movements of the sense organs, but also the repeating cycles of these experiences as the cycles of reincarnation. Yeah, I think you are correct. The five wheeled pools are not just five movements of the sense organs, eyes, ears, etc., but also the cycles of these experiences which is behind me in previous life. So yeah, it is all included. Both. It adds force to the past experience. Okay? Thank you. Anything from here? No? Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna. So, thank you for being online and thank you who are here. Tomorrow again, gospel class by Prabhrajika Seva Pranamataji.